watching CBS. It's all here.
I'm so surprised when I come into the bathroom in the morning and I look at the face of that old man. Because on the inside, I don't feel like that person that I see in the mirror.
If one is alive, it seems that the sensible thing to do is to live as fully as possible.
I volunteer in the kindergarten. And I can keep them under control because they're only that big.
But it's very important you keep both mind and body active. No sit in a chair and look at TV. Keep moving.
If you wanted to plant a garden, plant the garden. If you wanted to take a ride on a balloon, take that ride on the balloon.
Put your knees up to your chest. Put your arms around your knees and rock back and forth. And then to get up at the end, you do a shoulder stand as high as you could reach, and they get down and get up. And that gets the motors going.
Instead of retiring from life when they retire, most people want their remaining years to be busy and productive. Some find another job or start their own businesses. Others get involved in service or continuing education. Whatever they do, they need more than just recreation. They need a vision. More than just memories, they need a dream to build on. In many ways, growing old can be a spiritual adventure.
CBS presents The Gift of Years, Aging Creatively in America. The narrator is Ted Holmes.
When the Social Security system was created back in 1935, the average life expectancy of Americans was between 60 and 65 years of age. Well, nowadays, that could be just the beginning of the so-called golden years. All across America, in private housing or in retirement communities, people are living into their 80s and 90s, living successful lives. Well, today we'll try and find out what successful aging is all about.
Oliver Mellon at 88 is the oldest member of the group, and
But young at heart.
And I think Dick Fuller at 71 is the youngest. Welcome, gentlemen.
In Wethersfield, Connecticut, Robbins Barstow, 83, hosts a meeting of the Royal Order of Old Fogies.
I'm in the right there. You can see how young I was in those days.
These retired friends from church and business keep their minds alive in many ways. One is sharing their stories and their interests with the group and getting feedback.
Persons who refuse on moral or religious grounds to fight in wars are categorized as conscientious objectors. When I became 21 in October of 1940, and therefore subject to the draft, I registered as a conscientious objector.
After 3 weeks on the rifle range of Paris Island, I quickly learned how to shoot a gun, which I'd never done before, and I had no compunction about shooting somebody else. Would I kill somebody now knowingly? No, but I think I've matured over the past 60, 65 years, whatever it is.
I said, Coast Guard? He said, they don't shoot at anybody. He said, it's a little different than conscientious objector. So I went up and joined the Coast Guard, and I spent 3 years in New York City. Never shot at anybody.
The thing that always astounded us is how you got in the intelligence unit.
My wife and I started 7 years ago to beautify Wethersfield. We've created 55 gardens in the ground. We have 85 container gardens around town. That keeps our body active. Our minds are kept active in trying to find ways of getting the money to do this.
My wife and I have the philosophy that it's hard to hit a moving target. So we go from one volunteer activity to another.
And I read in the paper within the past day or two that it's the greatest feeling in the morning to wake up and say, well, what have I got to do today?
I think that's the line right there. We're all involved. All members of the church, most of us have held various volunteer jobs in the church. And our religion is deeply endowed within our whole body and our life.
I'm in a book club, which I think would be a comparable to the Old Fogies. We don't have such a fancy name for it.
Meg and Robbins Barstow have been married for 60 years, 50 of them in the same house. They raise their 3 children here. They don't spend all of their time together, never have. Robbins is a film and video buff who's amassed a large library of family and travel shows. He made a documentary of his life when he turned 80. Meg takes still pictures and has put her life story in a book. She's also devoted a great deal of time to their church, the First Church of Christ in Wethersfield, helping manage the Outreach Gift Shop, which sells handcrafts from developing countries around the world.
And you know that comes from Guatemala.
And of course, while Robbins takes long walks for exercise, Meg tones up in a town-sponsored fitness program.
I babysit, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now.
Oh, really? For grandchildren?
Grandchildren, yes.
Ah, yeah. What else do you do for, say, for others?
I do needlework.
I do Meals on Wheels.
Meals on Wheels.
I don't do anything anymore. I'm too old.
What advice would anybody give to younger people?
Keep busy.
Keep moving. Yeah, I think that's the most.
And help others.
Don't think just because you're 65 that you're over the hill.
What advice would you give younger people for staying on top of things when they get older?
I think it was Oliver Wendell Holmes who said, "A person must be part of the passion of his time, lest it be said they did not live."
Everything I do is a continuation of something that was part of my life before. A lot of it came from watching my mother, who was always active in the community and interracial, international concerns, and that just continued with me in college and right on when we worked in settlement houses. It was just part of my whole life.
My father was a congregational minister, and my mother was very devoted evangelical, and I think that a lot of the role model for me, if you will, came from their application of the Christian faith in a strong and compassionate and vigorous way. My two great avocational causes have been whale conservation on a global basis. I was part of the United States delegation to 4 meetings of the International Whaling Commission. And then we've been involved in the peace movement all our lives. We're not only part of 500,000 people in New York City, we were part of millions of people all over the world, a movement for peace to stand in the way of a proposed going to war.
How important is it to have your spouse with you?
We just are plain fortunate. I imagine we would create new lives for ourselves if one was gone. I mean, each of us, whichever was left, would somehow pull it together.
I have an answer that I usually transmit to her on Valentine's Day. If I could have but one true wish in all the span of time, it would be a wish that's already mine, to have Meg to be my Valentine.
The Gift of Years, Aging Creatively in America, will return after this message.
It's so incredibly rich. It's unbelievable. I don't know how you could be bored.
To purchase a videotape of the CBS religious special, The Gift of Years, please call toll-free 1-800-494-6007.
Hello, I'm Bill Wash. On today's edition of Seniors Living a Quality Life, we explore the Aging Network, dine with seniors at the Painted Pony Restaurant, check out an adult daycare center, and visit with the Royal Order of Old Fogies. In our first segment, we will learn more about the network of organizations and services for seniors in Connecticut and how these agencies work together. Next, we will travel to the Painted Pony Restaurant in Bethlehem, Connecticut to see the Senior Dine meal program in action. Then we are invited to participate in a lively discussion about pirates at the Royal Order of Old Fogies monthly get-together. And finally, we will see how an adult daycare center in East Hartford is helping 3 seniors stay in their homes longer. All up next on this edition of Seniors Living a Quality Life. The Royal Order of Old Fogies is a group of retired men that meets monthly, taking turns presenting research papers on everything from volcanoes to pirates.
One of the most exciting and happy kinds of experiences that I've had has been to be fortunate enough to belong to a group of retired men known as ROOF, R-O-O-F, the Royal Order of Old Fogies. We meet once a month, and every year each of us has the responsibility of preparing some kind of a paper or a presentation. And I love thinking of trying to find something that will stir the imagination and excite the minds of the other guys in the group.
I shake stuff all over the place, that's a fact.
Back in 1970, my father, who's Harvey Fuller, was one of the founders of this group. He and some other of his contemporaries decided to form a group to discuss current events, things that were going on not only in town but in the world. So the group developed from that and continued on. We each pick our own topic, and we keep it secret until the meetings.
So what are we going to learn about today? I hope you're going to learn a little bit about pirates. Pirates are a fascinating study. I looked it up on the net. Now you know my abilities on the net are strictly limited. I think pirates came about because I had this book given to me as a Christmas present. Well, it turns out it's all about pirates. That's how I got interested in this. And I said, you know, this is kind of fascinating. I think it also has been stimulated intellectually because each time I've written a paper, I spent a lot of time on it and looked up things I otherwise wouldn't have looked up. I think the group is very meaningful for me, and I think because a chance to get together with friends, to enjoy the fellowship, the camaraderie. I think the only boat that was not threatened by pirates was probably Noah and the Ark.
Well, I feel privileged to be in this group, and I feel enviable to be in this group. To me, it represents one of the great benefits of being a human being. It has been a very significant factor in what I consider the quality of my own life.
You know, so many people retire and say they're going to go fishing. Well, that lasts for about 3 weeks and you get tired of fishing and then they don't have anything else to do. This is just one of the many things that we have that give us an opportunity to express ourselves and to learn, and also to share the knowledges that we had over many years that we've been around.
Thanks for watching this edition of Seniors Living a Quality Life. Join us next time as we continue to explore issues that face Connecticut seniors.
And take 3.
The Royal Order of Old Fogies is a group of retired men that meets monthly, taking turns presenting research papers on everything from volcanoes volcanoes to pirates. I think I got to do that one again.
Okay, so we're still rolling, and we'll do take 4. Anytime.
Oh, the same one, okay. The Royal Order of Old Fogies is a group of retired men that meets monthly, taking turns presenting research papers on everything from volcanoes to pirates.
And cut. Okay, good.